Ooh, wow, 1000 subscribers. Today there will be no opening, no fancy intro. I just want to take the opportunity to talk to you and discuss a little bit about the past and the future of the channel, and especially to thank you all for the partnership and support throughout this journey. So, first thing, big thank you, whether if you are a subscriber, a personal friend, a collaborator, or a partner channel. That number wouldn't be possible if not for you. So thank you very much. When I started this channel back in 2018, I migrated from my old blog to YouTube. I never had a big ambition. I've been writing about video games for a long time, and I decided to try my luck on YouTube and see what would happen. And as you can see, I had no video producing experience. My first videos are quite cringeworthy, but I think I'm happy to say that nowadays I can do pretty much everything I want with the tools I have. So yeah, it definitely got some experience in this. Also, unfortunately, I've not been able to keep up with my producing schedule. Since 2018, I moved to another city. I had a daughter. I moved to a different job. The COVID crisis happened. I had to take care of my family, so lots of changes in my personal life, and my video schedule was pretty compromised by this. And I have no condition to keep up with other channels and other people that try to take YouTube more seriously. Sorry, but that's all I can do for now. And but I'm pretty happy to see that there's at least 1000 people that are willing to follow me and like my content and so on. So yeah, pretty impressive. It's fair to say that the channel grew in a kind of an organic manner, and by organic I mean disorganized. I don't feel that my creative process is very structured, and I decided to pick up some video formats to give some focus on some subjects in order to help me organize myself and produce more videos. Because for me, for example, it's very common to find myself thinking, what will the next video be about? And I miss the deadline. I lose track of the production. I don't make the captures. I don't do the research, and and sometimes I end up doing a video that's not that interesting. So I decided I have to improve this department a little bit, and therefore I decided I will produce videos in following formats, and I want to know your opinion about this. The dossiers will continue to be produced. They seem to be like a big favorite, and they will cover a game series covering historical and technical characteristics. And the new thing is now, as lots of people have asked me to do dossiers not just about game series but about companies, and I think it's pretty interesting. The hardware videos will be back, and they won't be like a big part of the channel because the channel is all about hardware, but every time I had a chance to put my hands on something interesting, I want to do a review and give you my impressions. The live streamings are gonna be back too. I don't like the ShmupsBR live name, so if you have any ideas for for the streaming chapters, the streaming videos, just let me know. I quite like to interact with you live. I like this kind of interaction, and but because most of my audience is from Brazil, they are Portuguese speakers, and yes, we speak Portuguese in Brazil. But since I speak English, and most of my audience speak English. If you are an English speaker, feel free to try to communicate there. There's not a big problem. The only problem is that I have to give priority to the Portuguese speakers, but of course I will read your comment and try to answer in English. Just the only thing is that, being very realistic, it's totally impossible for me to subtitle the lives, because sometimes it's like 3 or 4 hours long. The traditional reviews will continue to exist. I like to do them, and I like to give my opinion about the video games I buy, so I can help you to form your opinion. I will get back to the recommendation videos as well, which is how my channel started, and I think a lot of people are asking, and a lot of people are missing this kind of videos. They are pretty much something to help you find new games to play. Something interesting, something new, something that you never heard about, and that's what you find on these videos. Another new thing are going to be the deep dive videos. I was calling them Review Plus for some reason, but this name is absolutely ridiculous, so I'm switching to deep dives because they're a more straightforward name. They're basically gonna be they're not just gonna be a review, but it's explaining the mechanics. So how to make you understand how the mechanics of the game works, because like we have a lot of games that we play, but there's one thing missing and another detail that's missing, and so you sometimes don't get it, and it will help you to do like more points, score more points, or do a CC more easily. So very technical videos. Something similar to what I did on my Battlegorega and Rootbreaker videos. I know Battlegorega is not subtitled yet, but I'll work on it. Another new feature will be the Shmup 101 videos. That's gonna be about basic concepts. So for example, if you're not a Shmup player at all, let's say you're trying to get into this Shmup universe, some things that you have to understand, because like a lot of people sometimes get lost when I start talking about hitboxes or scoring systems, or I don't know, the proper routing, proper use of bombs or whatever. So this video is going to be about talking about basic concepts. And also, if you're a game designer and you don't know when you want to write, you want to start coding your own shmup and you don't know the basics, this is probably gonna be a good reference point, good reference or a good starting point. I am also considering doing extra videos. What are the extra videos? Well, I don't only exclusively play shmups. I play lots of games, and sometimes I just don't want to do another shmup video, and this doesn't mean it's gonna take the extra videos, the videos about video games that are not shmups, are going to take too much of the of my channel. No, they're gonna be like extra videos. So it's more or less like a bonus content about games which are not shmups, but are probably very interesting, or interesting enough for me to make a video about, so you're probably gonna enjoy it. And the other news is, as you can see, I'm producing videos in Portuguese and English. And the reason why I'm doing this is I noticed that I hate doing subtitles. It's a nightmare. Like, it's just to give you an example, to do a caption like this takes me like, I don't know, 20-30 minutes. To do caption for the videos is like a 3-4 hour job, and sometimes it's not great. So you will end up having to deal with my horrible accent, but I don't think it's a big deal, right? And yes, I know I'm a little behind the schedule. I'm trying to post videos every week and sometimes every 2 weeks, but sometimes, you know, shit happens and there's nothing you can do. For example, do you see this mess behind me? Yes, this is because I have to move all the furniture in this room. This is my office, this is where I work. And you see this empty space here, this is where this desk was. and I had to move everything here because my mother is coming to visit me, and she's flying from Brazil to UK, and as you can imagine, it's a nightmare to go through the immigration because of the COVID situation. So she's gonna spend a couple of months here, and I had to provide her like a proper place to sleep. So I have to put a bed in here, and so I have to unplug everything, move furniture, and as you can see, it's been a nightmare. But like, yeah, you know, you have to do what I have to do. So yeah, this is one thing that's taking a lot of time. Like, I have to reorganize everything. So, but I'll be back as soon as possible, I promise. And of course, I know I'm behind the schedule, but I have to come here and celebrate with you this 1000 subscribers mark, and thank you for everything. And of course, I opened the channel, the communication channel, for a couple of questions and answers, and let's see what the subscribers sent me. First one is ShmupsBR. Congratulations for the mark. Thanks. For me, something remarkable in the genre is the music. How about a video about the Konami Kukeiha Club band? Yeah, it's quite possible. I'm also considering doing videos just about game music, like just about shmup music. Like, shmups are famous for having good music, so why not? Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Next question is from PV, from Jogos Mofados, partner channel. How about talking about the fundamental differences between a traditional shmup like Gradius or Tuaplan and a bullet hell? I believe that if you have to consider two things, I guess. First thing is, back in the day, if you consider Galaga or Space Invaders, the games were very slow paced. First, because hardware back in the day was pretty primitive, so it wasn't possible to put too much thing on the screen, like not a lot of sprites or shots or ships or whatever moving at the same time without compromising the game performance. So one factor is this. The other factor is nobody played a faster shmup. Nobody knew how to play them. So you were like shooting things that move slowly on the screen because that was the only way they could move on the screen. And I believe that over time, what happened was the hardware was being upgraded and improving, and more things were added to the screen. And as everything else in life, like, things start going faster, moving faster, harder, and you cannot get back. Like, you cannot, you don't go back from this point. So we started having games with more things, more sprites, more enemies, more shots on the screen, moving in a fast-paced rhythm, and you cannot go back, and you only can go forward and accelerate even more and put more things on the screen. So we moved from a scenario where the games were like technical in a way that you have to foresee where the shots were gonna hit, and then on the second scenario, on the bullet hell phase, you have to route yourself through mazes of shots that are only possible because the hardware allowed them to. So I believe this is the biggest difference. One game depended on memorization and quick reflexes, and the other game put a lot of emphasis on routing and dodging waves of bullets. I think this is the biggest difference. José Clemente, since when you have been bald? When did you start losing hair? Okay, I never said that the questions had to be about video games, right? I started getting bald before my 30s, and because of family history, I was totally prepared for this. So I totally don't suffer from it today. And also I started doing my captures using this baseball cap because my head is very shiny, and it compromises the video quality a little bit. This is no joke. And also because I use, you probably saw one of the videos that I used that green screen behind me. This is not a green screen, this is just a software. But that piece of software tends to get confused when it sees my head shining, and it lost. And so sometimes like it starts to overlay things on top of my head. So if I put something on my head, it's good, like it works, it gets fixed. Also, I'm using a pretty outdated NVIDIA video card. It's a good card, I like it a lot, but it's not doing the job anymore, so I probably have to upgrade it at some point. But there is a mistake in your interpretation. I do have hair, you just don't see it because you don't see me naked. Vicente Almeida, congratulations, I love your content. Thank you. How about a video about unknown shmups or forgotten platforms? Man, that's definitely what I'm gonna do. Like it's they're gonna be videos about recommendations, and they are basically about discovering things that you never heard about, or the things that I think you should play. So yeah, this is totally on topic. Pasha XYZ, I would like to know what's the most important criteria when you evaluate a shmup and to end up enjoying, and what you played, which are the most important. Music, graphics, challenge, gameplay, which issue is so critical that makes you give up a game, or do you prefer to leave the game? Okay, I got it. Okay, what makes me love and hate a game, and what I consider like the most important traits. First, I believe some things make me definitely not play a game. For example, if a shmup has no music. I know I'm probably like talking about this for the 100th time, but anyway, shmups are famous for having good music, so if you did a shmup with no music, it's gonna be hard. Like I don't think I'll play it unless like it's a fantastic shmup or something, but you know, for me it's a big blocker. Graphics, challenge, yeah, this varies a lot, but what makes me skip a game entirely? Okay, things that I really don't like. For example, when you start playing a game and the first enemy you see have to take like 10 shots to die. This is pretty frustrating. Like, it's the first enemy, I have no power-ups or anything, so what's the point? Second thing is when I have to take like 1 hour to kill a boss. Like, what's wrong with this game? Like, do you think I don't have anything else, anything better to do? I have to spend like 1 hour fighting a boss. What's wrong? Oh yeah, power-ups that don't do anything. This is like, for example, you pick up a power-up and you're slightly upgraded, so come on, what's wrong? But yeah, this is pretty much what I don't like. And he's also asking if difficulty is something I take in consideration. I usually don't take difficulty as consideration, because like if I like a game, I play it. I usually don't give up. Like if I give up, it's because I don't like it. So yeah, that's it. Eleusimar Salles Uchoa, congratulations on the 1000 subscribers. Could you please make a video about the first person rain umbrella like space hair? Space hair? And the tribes, they belong to the movie genre, but they are in first person. Okay, first of all, thank you, Eleusimar. I think you probably used like a text-to-speech tool or something, and I think Google didn't get it right, because your text seems to be a little bit scrambled and cryptic. So I believe you asked me about Space Harrier and the first person shmups. Okay, like rail shooters. That's what I think. If I don't get it wrong, you are asking me if I'm gonna do a video about rail shooters at some point. Yes, definitely. I just didn't have time to do this, but yeah, it's something I'm considering doing for a long time. I'm even I am also the kind of guy that likes to call them rail shmups, just to, you know, irritate people that like to dissociate rail shooters from shmups. So yeah, I quite like the genre. I'll do something, some video about this. Question from Shmup Junkie, another partner channel. Question for you: what's your top 5 favorite? Oops. Yeah, because my last video. How about what's the most challenging shmup you ever forced yourself to complete anyway? We all have that one that remember terrorizing us most. Yes, definitely. I can remember a couple of games that terrorized me. The first one, I guess, is Flying Shark, because I think it's the first big challenge I faced, like in form of a shmup. And I can say I did my best to try to finish it, because it has no end, it loops. And the same thing happened to Truxton, and Truxton was even more cruel, because Truxton you have to collect 3 power-ups to upgrade 1 level, so even worse. I remember I have to memorize everything from Truxton, like where every ship would appear or every enemy would appear, and yeah, it terrorized me a lot. Another one that I can remember I suffered a lot was Master Systems R-Type, because there's a lot of flicker slowdown, and I was getting killed by invisible enemies all the time. And there was also Amiga's Project X, which I tried my best to get it beat. I tried my best to beat the game, but there is one boss that was unbeatable. Yes, they did a recall, and in the second version the boss was beatable, but on the first one not, and I tried my best to kill that. Yeah, that boss. And well, but I don't think it counts because the game was unbeatable. And but I think from the 2000s, my biggest nightmare was Mars Matrix, because I was totally in love with the game, and it was way too hard. So yeah, that's it. Euripides Disposable. What are the main differences you see between the old shmups and the ones released today? You kind of answered this question already, but let's see. I believe the biggest difference is on the old classic shmups, they were very methodic, and you have to route and memorize where the enemies would appear. And sometimes the firepower was quite limited, so you had to be very precise where you're going. And on the modern bullet hells, you have to be very good on dodging as well, and dodging and routing yourself, and navigating through waves of bullets. I think this is the biggest difference. Lucas Milani, which one is definitely a bad shmup that you like? Okay, I have a guilty pleasure here. It's called Revenge of the Mutant Camels on the Amiga. And I just can't explain why I like this game. I think it's because it's so ridiculous, it's so rudimentary, and that like you just start playing, and but it's not too hard, it's not too intense, and sometimes you're just like spending like 30-40 minutes playing, and you're like, it's like meditating. I don't know, it's like your mind goes somewhere, and you don't notice that you're like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm sitting here playing this thing for like 30-40 minutes, and in the end, like, I end up just playing it just to remember how bad the game was. Alfredo Jr. I have some questions. Okay, why the shmups for computers like X68000, FM1000, PC98 are so unknown? Okay, first, because those computers were like Japanese exclusive releases, so they were never released on Europe or United States or Brazil or whatever, so they were restricted to Japan. and there was like a huge language barrier, so the games are all in Japanese, so like didn't help much to get them popular outside Japan. Do you believe emulation could improve this? Yes, definitely. Like most people, like including myself, just get to know these games using emulation. So yeah, you can even use. There is a great service called Project Egg. It's a website from Japan that they sell like encapsulated emulators with the ROM. You don't have to do anything. Like it plays like a standalone game, and it's pretty cheap. And you can experience, like if you really don't know how to configure an emulator or something, you can go there, like spend like some peanuts and start playing a game that you don't know. So yeah, definitely. What is the recipe for a shmup to be successful? Oh boy, I wish I have this answer for you. But okay, let me try. I believe you have to consider two things. First, you have to look to the past, because there are like all the good ideas, everything that exists about shmups, like exists in the past. So you have to use the past as a reference, and you have to take a good look on what people are playing nowadays, and you have to try to establish, create a balance between the good ideas from the past and the good ideas from the present. And only when you manage to combine these two factors, you're going to be successful. Because if you do something totally new, you're reinventing the wheel, and you may end up not doing something very interesting. And if you just copy something that was done, like it, of course you can, if it's well done, someone will like it, will play it, because like it's the reference that everyone has. But you're not probably not get very popular between the new players, so your game may look very outdated or too classic or too old. Preto, pobre e feio. What was your first shmup? What was the first shmup you played? If I'm not wrong, because for me it's quite confusing, like I don't remember when this happened. It was probably on the early 80s. It was either Space Invaders on the Atari 2600 or Mooncrest on the arcades. I can't say because I was too young. These two events happened like very close to each other, so was either one or other. Marison Pajeras, probably a difficult question to answer. Do you have any idea how many shmups you've beaten? You can refer to the Xbox and PlayStation achievement list for reference. Sorry, I don't know. And the answer and the fact I don't know is because, like, I don't think we play shmups to beat them. I think we play shmups to beat them the way we want. Like you don't want just to beat, because beating a shmup is like, most shmups had like infinite continues, or if you're playing on an emulator, you can just like keep putting coins on it. So it's not like just a matter of beating, finishing the game. Like you can finish pretty much every shmup. The fact is, it's a challenge of skill. It's not a matter of time. Like it's not like playing an RPG or something that it depends on how many time you invest on how much time do you invest on that game. But so no, I don't know. And for me it's totally pointless to check my Xbox and PlayStation achievement list, because most of the shmups I finished, they were not on Xbox and the PlayStation. They were much older, so sorry. And Fernando Godeni Avelino, would there be a shmup that you consider very good but almost no one knows about? Okay, yes, definitely a couple, and I will definitely talk about them, but you have to wait a little bit because I'm preparing a video about this. So for now, sorry, but stay tuned and you'll be surprised. And well, that's it, my friends. Thank you for your time and patience and your support, and it's pretty much the message I have for today. So nice talking to you, and see you in the next video.